I saw this thumbnail, 200% increase in muscle mass, and I said, I'm going to watch this video. If Andrew Huberman says any of this, I'm going to call him out. I'm going to call him a liar. Coach Greg, in today's video, I need to clear something up. A lot of people have been talking smack about Andrew Huberman, that he's making false claims. And you've probably seen Chael Sonna's video talking about how he says testosterone levels go up fourfold and so on. But he hasn't actually been saying that. And so what's actually happened, the problem, is that people are misleading you with their titles. Andrew Huberman is so popular that people around the world are making videos about him. And so when you see a title and or thumbnail, you immediately think, well, this is what the video is going to be about. And you think Andrew Huberman is the guy that's saying it. And so let's take this video for example. Neuroscientist, hot sauna increase your growth hormone by 16 times. The best protocol to use sauna. And throughout the video, it's Andrew Huberman speaking about how to use a sauna to increase your growth hormone. But guess what? I watched the entire video twice, and not once did he make a claim that it's going to help you to build muscle. But when I look at the thumbnail, all I see is this: 200% increase in muscle mass. Game changer protocol. And so you see Andrew Huberman's face in the thumbnail, 200% increase in muscle mass. And so you associate that thumbnail, 200% increase in muscle mass, with the title that says 16-fold increase in growth hormone from using a sauna. And so if you're an average viewer, average consumer, you don't know if Andrew Huberman said that it increases muscle mass by 200%. You don't know that. But you see the title and you believe that he does. And after you've seen so many videos and so many titles like this, you're starting to think Andrew Huberman, he's pushing a certain narrative that you can dramatically increase muscle mass by 200%. By doing things such as a hot sauna, cold plunge, all this hocus pocus nonsense. And so really, it's not nonsense. But if you think it's actually going to double your muscle mass, or that it's going to change your life that much, suddenly going to be an IB Pro bodybuilder, then you got your head in the sand. And so the reality is this: going in a sauna, it can in fact increase your growth hormone. And if you want to watch the entire video, of which it's 17 minutes long, you can go and do that. Or I'm going to summarize it right now, nice and simple, so you don't have to spend all day reading about this nonsense, because it's not going to make that big a difference. And so here's the gist of it. If you go into a sauna between 80 and 100 degrees Celsius, which is pretty hot, and you stay in there for 5 to 20 minutes, your growth hormone, it's going to go up. And it can go up by up to 16-fold. But listen, it's going to do so very briefly. It's not going to stay there. It's not the same as injecting growth hormone every single day like you're a professional bodybuilder. And the harsh reality is, even if you do it all the time, if you were to do this hot sauna every single day, your body gets used to it, and so no longer it's going to have this dramatic effect. Your growth hormone, it's not going to keep spiking. And so if you want to use a sauna and increase your growth hormone, you can do it once a week, perhaps, maybe a little bit more often, but it's not going to make that big a difference. And so the end result, are you going to in fact build more muscle? Probably not. Probably not. But yet the thumbnail, the title says 200% increase in muscle mass. 200%. Let me tell you things that can increase your muscle mass by 200%. Nothing! There's nothing that can double your muscle mass. And so if you really want to double your muscle mass, nothing can do that on its own. You could take all the steroids in the world, and if you don't train, you're not doubling your muscle mass. Steroids, growth hormone, insulin, everything in combination, it's not going to double your muscle mass. But if you train harder than last time for years, and you use performance-enhancing drugs, you eat properly, you do everything right, maybe, just maybe, you can increase your muscle mass by 200%. Remember, 200%, it's double. And so if you have 50 pounds of muscle in your body right now, you would then have to go to 100. That is a lot. To double your muscle mass, it's going to take you years, if ever. And so to say game changer protocol, go in a sauna, double your muscle mass, well, that's ridiculous. Almost as ridiculous as people that put those vibration machines on their abdominals and think that suddenly they're going to have a washboard six-pack. Do you see that video? You see those commercials? Oh, it's like doing 25,000 sit-ups in a matter of minutes. If it was really the same as doing 25,000 sit-ups in a matter of minutes, you'd end up with rhabdomyolysis. Really? 25,000 sit-ups? Imagine the pain in doing 25,000. You really think it's going to be the same thing? Of course not. But yet they market it that if you use this in a matter of weeks, everyone can get shredded, everyone can develop an amazing muscular and lean physique. But it's simply not true. And so what's happening is people are making thumbnails and titles. They're exaggerating or stretching the truth or overemphasizing or overplaying their titles and videos by that much more in order to stand out, in order to get your clicks. I saw this thumbnail, 200% increase in muscle mass, and immediately I knew it was bullshit. And I said, I'm going to watch this video. If Andrew Huberman says any of this, I'm going to call him out. I'm going to call him a liar. And so I watched the video twice, and lo and behold, never said it even for 1 second. And so what this is a lie. The person who posted this brain mindset is literally lying to you. Why do I say that? Because what's stated here will not increase your muscle mass by 200%. It would be analogous to my videos where I promote GO2 Max with the main ingredient, NMN, being highly effective in improving your cardiovascular performance. And so they had a walking test score, people in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. And a walking test score, it means that you're tested on how far you can walk in 6 minutes. And when they compared the placebo group to the group using NMN, they had a 50% improvement in the walking test score. What does that mean? They walked 50% further. But could I then, in the thumbnail, in the title, say, GO2 Max will make you run 50% faster? If you're in your 40s, 50s, and 60s, and you can't walk very fast and you use it, well, perhaps you could expect a 50% improvement. That's what the research says. And so what could you actually expect if you take GO2 Max? Well, you'll notice you're a little bit faster. Perhaps that 60-minute time will become 58. Or when you're in the gym and you're doing 30 minutes of cardio, perhaps like Brentley G, and you start using it, you'll notice that you can go a little bit longer. You went out for a jog or a walk for 30 minutes, you're tired, you're in the gym lifting weights, and after 45 minutes, you feel like stopping. Now you have more energy. You can go faster and further. But it's not going to make you 50% faster if you're in the Olympics. Imagine, you ran the marathon in 2.5 hours. Now you're breaking the world record. It doesn't work like that. Can it improve your time? Yes. By a little bit, of course it can. And so to say that because you increase your growth hormone by 16-fold, 4-fold, doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter!
And then to try and correlate that to say that you're going to build 200% more muscle, that is a bold-faced lie.
In subjects that did this 2-hour-a-day, 80-degree Celsius protocol, experienced 16-fold increases in growth hormone.
And so Andrew Huberman simply states the research. He reads research and studies and says, this is what they found. He doesn't then exaggerate that and say, oh, because if you go in the cold water, it's going to release more dopamine. You're going to get more testosterone. Because of that, you're probably going to lose 20 pounds of fat and put on 20 pounds of muscle. He doesn't say that. And so when people are starting to criticize Andrew Huberman and making false information, it's not true. What's happening is people are twisting his words or adding on to it. And so what do I think of hot saunas overall? I think they're great. I think if you enjoy it, then it can certainly help you to feel better. If you're using a hot sauna and it makes you feel better, you like how it makes you feel younger, gives you more energy, any of those things, well, by all means, keep doing it. And to the same extent, if you like cold water therapy, of which I absolutely hate, but trust me, I wish I did. I tried it. I'm just too much of a wimp. I can't handle it. I'm shaking. I'm freaking out. I just can't sit in the cold water. I want to get the dopamine. I just can't do it. But if you can handle it, if you can do it, then by all means do it. But don't think that you're suddenly going to put on a ton of muscle because of it. Just because it can improve testosterone levels, perhaps briefly, doesn't mean you're going to put on a ton of muscle. And what about fasting? Oh, fasting increases growth hormone dramatically. 2 times more growth hormone. All you have to do is fast. The harsh reality is this. If you fast, you're not putting on more muscle. I don't care how much more growth hormone you're going to have. It's not going to lead to increases in muscle mass. Think of it. The body releases growth hormone in times of stress. It's a panic button. And so if you're suddenly in a hot sauna, 100 degrees, you're panicking, you're sweating, oh my goodness, what's happening right now? I'm so hot. The alarm bells go off in the body. It releases growth hormone. Do you really think that's good? Is there really something you want? Oh, you jump into ice water and you start freaking out. Growth hormone rises. Yeah, it better to make you survive. But that doesn't translate into building a ton of muscle. It's just getting your body prepared to survive. And so do you know what can in fact help build more muscle, increase testosterone, growth hormone? Working out, eating healthy, going to bed on time, getting enough quality sleep, eating the proper micro and macronutrients, all the things you're supposed to be doing. And what about stress? Yeah, try to keep it on the down low. Try to decrease your stress. How can you do that? Well, find a job that you don't panic over. Perhaps do yoga, meditate, go for a run, a jog, move more. It releases endorphins that make you feel good. And so why not do that? Rather than sitting and suffering in an ice bath or a hot sauna, why not get out and explore the world and be active? Because when you're active, it clears the mind. Arnold Schwarzenegger, when he wakes up in the morning, he doesn't even think. He doesn't bother to think. Why? Because he's on autopilot.
I don't think. Get on the bicycle and bicycle down here.
I wake up, I get on my bike, and I ride to the gym. Sounds like Coach Greg rides bikes. Goes to the gym, does a workout, lifts the weights, feels good. And for the rest of the day, he's in a positive mindset. It clears his mind.
Most important thing is don't think. Just do.
And so don't think, just do. And so remember, the main point of this video is to not have you judge a book by its cover. Don't just read a thumbnail and or title and assume that it's going to reflect the information that's provided in the video. People are clickbaiting harder than last time to try and get your attention, but they're often doing so at the expense of the information that's provided in the video. Saunas, cold water therapies, all that stuff, although it can be of benefit, it's not going to increase your testosterone as much as taking anabolic steroids and or PEDs, and it's not going to put on more muscle than going to the gym and working out. And so please put on your thinking caps and use your logic when watching videos. Ending it here. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm. It helps me so much. Please leave a comment and you can like the video. Also watch one of the bloops, the cookbooks, the training books, the coaching plans by me and my team, that Circle Diet book, Life's Work, How to Lose Weight, Keep It Off, as well as the Harder Than Last Time clothing line. Don't forget it's code Greg, 10% off. And if you have no money, it's still okay. Head over to the website. We're giving away free diet and training program. It's close to 50 pages in length. It's amazing. First and last name and your email address, and you got it. That's all you need to do. And so please head over to my website right now. And until next time, I am out. Wodja Wabbit.